Hello, I'm glad you joined us for this presentation titled Caregiver Stress and Burnout, Tips for Taking Care of Yourself. So welcome. My name is Kathy Powell and I am the Program Director for POPIN. This stands for Parents Offering Parents Information and Networking, a program of Family Network on Disabilities. I'm here today in my role as a professional and also as the parent of a child with a disability. Now, I went to school to become an interior designer. I never pictured my life as the mother of a child, now a young adult with autism. It was surprising and even confusing at times, but throughout the years, all the pieces started connecting. It wasn't a miracle, but the results of hard work and a big desire to learn and represent the best interests for my son from a position of knowledge and now sharing information with families in the North Florida region. We are all amazing parents and we all love our children deeply. In my opinion, that love is the strength that helps us do incredible things. One of them is to learn and grow as their best advocates. No one can do it better than you. That's why we're here today. I want to share a little bit about our agency before I get into our presentation. Family Network on Disabilities is a grassroots organization for persons with disabilities and their families that is family-centered and family-driven. Founded in 1995 by a group of parents of children with disabilities who came together for mutual support and information sharing. Now, what makes FND unique is that the majority of our board of directors, management staff, and all of our program staff are parents or family members of persons with disabilities. We are a 501c3 nonprofit helping families across the state of Florida through our parent training and information centers understand special education in the state. We're funded in part by the U.S. Department of Education, providing information, resources, and support to families and educators just like yourself to better understand the special education here in Florida. A quick clarification I want to make, as you see on the slides, is we are not acting as attorneys or doctors. We don't interpret the law and we don't provide medical advice of any type. What we do, however, is we are excited to share information, resources, and supports for you and your family. We use research-based information in order to create our trainings, and we work in collaboration with state and federally funded organizations in order to create and provide resources for families. So, what is a caregiver? Typically, I would ask the group to share their thoughts on what caregiver means to you. Because of COVID and our restrictions to travel, all of our presentations are done online. So I'll share what I found online in an online search myself instead. First I looked at Oxford. According to Oxford, a caregiver is a family member, a friend, or a neighbor who takes care of a frail or person with a disability. Now, Merriam-Webster's dictionary defined caregiver as one that gives physical or emotional care and support, a person who provides direct care as for children, elderly people, or the chronically ill. Then Wikipedia's definition is caregiver is a paid or unpaid member of a person's social network who helps them with activities of daily living. Caregivers most commonly assist with impairments related to old age, disability, a disease, or a mental disorder. And the synonyms for caregiver include carer, caretaker, and sometimes guardian. So it sounds like we're getting a little bit closer to what our job titles are as parents of children with disabilities. But let's see my final definition. Here it is. The CDC defines caregivers as individuals that provide regular care or assistance to a friend or family member with health problems or a disability. It goes further to say that a caregiver provides care to people who need some degree of ongoing assistance, everyday tasks on a regular or daily basis. The recipients of care can live either in residential or institutional settings and range from children to older adults and have chronic illness or disabling conditions. That's us, the family members or friends. We really are the backbone of long-term care provided in our homes. Think about it. However, parents of special needs children know that caring for a child who requires assistance for a disability brings its own challenges and responsibilities. And we'll take a look at those challenges in a minute. But one thing I wanted to kind of highlight is that many families would also be considered to be in the sandwich generation at the same time that they're caring for a child with a disability, needing a clear understanding of elder issues as well. And sandwich generation is an adult who are adults that are part of that sandwich generation, that is, those who have a living parent age 65 or older and are either raising a child under age 18 or supporting a grown child, are pulled in many directions. Not only do many provide care and financial support to their parents and their children, but nearly, listen to this one, 4 in 10, 38% say both their grown children and their parents rely on them for emotional support. Adult care may include tasks such as providing hands-on assistance with dressing and eating or medical care, and providing transportation to appointments or helping to maintain the home or finances. So, who's in that sandwich generation? More data I'll share. 12% of parents are part of the sandwich generation, according to data from the Pew Research Center. And this is 2013 data from the Pew Research Center. It also says its members are mostly middle-aged. 71% of this group is age 40 to 59. Also, an additional 19% are younger than 40, and 10% are age 60 or older. Men and women are equally likely to be members of the sandwich generation, but Hispanics are more likely than whites or blacks to be in this situation. Very tight family, cultural. And then 3 in 10 Hispanic adults, 31%, have a parent of age 65 or older and a dependent child. Very interesting information. Now, I'm going to cover the next slide that's going to talk about the caregiver responsibilities. I'm going to kind of go a little quick because I know that a lot of us as parents know our responsibilities. Nobody needs to tell us our responsibilities. And I'm going to include some support material as well. But I'm talking right now to our educators or professionals. I just want to highlight these stressors may sometimes interfere with families' ability to participate in school-related events and activities. And teachers should take care not to assume that these families are not interested or supportive of their child's education. Just get to know your families and start building positive relationships. And the way in which a family gets involved in the education system is likely to be as unique as the family itself, and it all starts with good communication. As I'm sure we've all experienced during this time of distance learning, family engagement is especially critical for ensuring that the needs of students, particularly those with disabilities, are being met. Now, when most parents think of juggling act involved in raising a family, many of the responsibilities listed here will apply, especially if you're a parent of a younger child, adding possibly stressors such as coordinating soccer games, ballet practice, any extracurricular activities, play dates, and grocery shopping. But if you're a parent of a child who is sick or has a special need, your schedule likely involves a lot more, and for a longer period of time, quite possibly well into adulthood, and without the help and support they truly need, or that you truly need as a parent. And this includes caring for the elderly as well, for those experiencing the sandwich generation. So let's dig into our list of responsibilities on this slide. Bathing, grooming, dressing, toileting, and exercise. Housekeeping, laundry, other errands for self-care. Packing or cleaning, phone calls, finance, waiting for a doctor and insurance companies to return your phone calls, especially when it concerns paying those bills and those finances. Mobility and transportation, helping getting in and out of a wheelchair, car or shower, driving to and from activities, running errands, helping getting in and out of wheelchairs. Supervision and just plain old emotional support, providing constant companionship and general supervision, being able to be that stable companion and supporter in all matters, health-related and emotional. Care and monitoring, just overseeing medications and prescriptions, usage, and again, appointments, reminders, and administrating that medicine. Following a care plan, noticing any changes in the individual's health and recording those changes. Home organization, pretty general. But if you're providing some of these supports, you're considered a caregiver. Now, if you're providing almost all of these supports, you are considered a caregiver. The most common type of caregiver is the family caregiver, someone who takes care of a family member without pay. And according to the 2015 National Alliance for Caregiver and AARP, caregiving in the U.S. is approximately 43.5 million caregivers had provided unpaid care to an adult or a child in the last 12 months. And about 34.2 million Americans had provided unpaid care to an adult aged 50 or older in the last 12 months. And there's other types of caregivers. There's professional, independent, private, informal, and even volunteer caregivers. After reading off all of these responsibilities, you may be thinking, well, thanks a lot. I thought I was going to learn tips to not feel stressed and burned out. I promise we'll get there. But first it bears mentioning, even though you probably heard it time and time again, you're not alone. It's so important to realize you're not alone. Parenting special needs children comes with a whole host of emotions that can be difficult to deal with. One of the most difficult for so many of us is the isolation we feel. So if you're caring for a special needs child, we are all in this together. As I mentioned before, I'm a parent of a child with a disability. I'm a proud mom to a young man who turned 18. He's on the autism spectrum. For our family, anxiety has been at the center of everything. Sam was born anxious. You couldn't blanket wrap that baby tight enough. He also had colic, and it was difficult to calm him down, no matter what you tried. He was flagged for autism at 8 months, benefiting by early childhood intervention from Florida State University when we lived in Tallahassee. As early as 14 months, he started a program with Florida State University. Then he went through the Early Steps program with an Individualized family support plan. And then at 2.5, he entered public school, transitioning into an IEP with a diagnosis of developmental disability. Children are not diagnosed until kindergarten in Florida. Then he rolled into an individualized education program in kindergarten and received his school diagnosis at 6, and then but he had his formal diagnosis at 3. And he continues to receive services both private and through vocational rehabilitation. A lot of community work. He's anxious to get back to things now that he's gotten his second shot, but he is trucking along. Families have shared that they have changed inside in a good way with their child's disability. I do believe that I've become more caring, We're considerate of others. I think you would agree that we may have even found a deeper meaning to life, a deeper understanding of human emotions, and we can recognize distress in others very quickly. It's a learned response to people in need, and if you ever have the opportunity to do a fellow, I guess you would call them warrior parents, or another parent that you recognize as being a parent of a child with a disability. If you ever did them a solid in the community, you will know the feeling I'm talking about, of the love that unites us all. I've paid it forward a few times now, and it feels great. So I encourage you to try it. One way to relieve your own stress, you may not have tried, and there's research that says that lending a helpful hand to someone in need actually relieves your own stress. At first, you might worry that giving other people your time and attention will only make your schedule busier, but research has shown that helping others benefits your mental and physical health. In fact, the study was a 2015 study published in the Clinical Psychological Science Journal, and that's where it says that helping others can relieve stress. Another thing is, I find as a parent of a child with a disability, I appreciate the little things more. As a parent of a child with autism and developmental disability, you begin to appreciate the small things and the tiniest of gains and milestones. Milestones his older brother, by only 12 months, just simply blew through. Autism has changed my whole perspective on what really matters. It's not about academic achievements, trophies, or awards. I just want my son to live up to his own potential and be happy. Yes, raising a kid with autism can be challenging, but I can still easily list all the things I'm grateful for. And the little things that make my son happy bring me joy. He loves checking the mail in the mailbox every day, jumping waves at the beach, practical jokes. April Fool's is a big holiday around our house. Music from his favorite movies. Right now we're listening to It's a Small World, greatest hits. And his beloved VHS tape collection. He's got over 1,000 tapes. But seeing my son happy makes me happy, and I'm grateful that I can appreciate the moment. Now, hesitate why I should talk about this, but I'll say, as an aside, I have to share this thought. There is a well-meaning poem, you may have heard it, called Welcome to Holland. It was written in 1980s, maybe late 1980s, by someone named Emily Pearl Kingsley, a special needs parent who describes her parenting journey as being excited for a vacation to Italy, basically her parenting expectations, only to find that that her plane landed permanently in a quaint country of Holland. And this compared, I guess, her expectations to the new reality of special needs parenting. It's a poignant, very poignantly written, and definitely tell the story of how beautiful an adventure special needs parenting can be. Yet I'm not really a fan. I read another short story online on a blog somewhere not too long ago where we all wind up in Italy. But we're just having very different vacations because we're very different people, raising very different children. And it definitely felt like a more inclusive ending to the story. So remember, you don't parent a diagnosis, you parent a kid. And those small people are often more incredible than we could have expected. Anyways, the point is to embrace the new place, looking for the wonder and splendor it too has to offer. That's the essay, the point of it. And it aims at helping this family transition into this new community and phase of their life. But these limitations are for yourself, not your child. Remember that. Now, we all have a story to tell. I don't know if you've thought about telling yours, if you've already got it written down somewhere. Pen to paper, rather, fingers to keyboard. As a parent, I always want to see a direct impact for my child or family. But soon I realized sharing my story also helps those coming up behind me. And your story may just be that story that moves a future teacher or a legislator to action. You never know. We actually help families develop their stories once they have moved from crisis to advocacy. And we invite parents to participate in panel discussions, an initiative we call Family as Faculty. The purpose of that initiative is to prepare teachers and other professionals in the community to work collaboratively with parents in an effort to improve services, develop partnerships, and to increase positive outcomes for students across a full range of disabilities. And this program provides teacher candidates with a unique opportunity to learn firsthand from parents who agree to share their experiences and stories about the strengths, differences, and challenges of raising a child with disability. And we work with FSU, UF, UCF. Teacher candidates have provided the opportunities to listen to these parent stories and personal experiences, and they really have provided us with amazing feedback of how invaluable that information is. We also have an initiative called Parents as Leaders. Poppin will assist families who are considering starting their own support group. We provide a framework of where to begin. There's a few different ways of approaching support groups. Not all groups are created equal. Poppin will first review a few different models of support groups to consider and then discuss what aspects may cause each model to be a good fit for interested members. And then ultimately, we're educating families with all these initiatives so that families can be best prepared if they want to use their voice and become an effective member on a community task force or a committee, even in an ESC advisory committee, where you can learn and provide vital parent input. Up to this point, we have been identifying stress and the effects on caregivers. We talk about some of the causes and the toll it could take if not careful. I talked about a caregiver's journey, full of emotional ups and downs, not all downs. And you're definitely not alone, right? And we talk about finding your voice and sharing your experiences with others, such as professionals that serve our children and rising educators and legislators. But before we get to advocacy, we need to make sure we have a balance in our lives. It's difficult to move from crisis to advocacy. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, you would have to see yourself as a competent and effective, not only with your skills and knowledge, but in other aspects of your life that may be causing stress. And it's no surprise that sometimes this journey creates imbalance. So this presentation, or the next segment of this presentation, is going to help identify those key parts of your life to measure for balance and make sure you're taking care of yourself before you're off to promote advocacy for others. We'd rather you felt confident in knowing how to overcome obstacles in your life and practice effective problem-solving skills. And we're very close to starting this activity. So hang on a little bit longer and check our next segment. Thanks.